Hey guys, Kate and Kale here, and today I will be doing a director's commentary on my latest large-scale short film, El Sol. This opening shot right here, I was trying to get it to work with a really cool landscape in the background that took away the cars moving and everything, but the problem was, and it looked really good, the problem was that in these shots right here, it would be almost impossible to successfully and effectively track the background to really make it fit with the rest of the scene. And originally I was going to have it just there in the first shot, but that wouldn't really fit with the rest of the scene. So I unfortunately had to scrap it, but I still used it for the poster, so it looks pretty cool. Also, God, I feel so bad because this is my grandpa who's playing this character, and he is fluent in Spanish, but he thought I wanted him to say the whole line in Spanish instead of just in a Spanish accent. So he spent the whole time memorizing all of his lines in Spanish, and then on the day, I had miscommunicated to him. He was actually supposed to say them in English because Oscar the cop doesn't know Spanish in the film, so it wouldn't make sense if Diego was speaking Spanish, because Oscar needs to understand him for the story to progress. So yeah, I felt pretty bad about that. Also, this, God, the ear ring, the ringing in the ears for the headphones I was editing with, it wasn't a problem at all. It sounded at a perfectly normal volume, but on some speakers it sounds terrible, and it's like it almost like hurts your ears. So I apologize if that affected anyone. Yeah, this title I'm pretty happy with how it came out. The whole the poster for the film, it's probably like one of the best I've done. It looks pretty. It really pops. I think it looks pretty good.
Something we could do. I know, but we just gotta let the police do their job.
The police don't know jack shit.
My friend here, his name is Sear. He played the bully really well. I think he made it very natural. This was actually the first scene we filmed, and it really, I feel like it was a really good setup for his character and the whole theme of anger in the film. Man, this scene, I love how well the red worked because he was originally, because of how he has the red jacket, it worked so well with this red door. And you'll see in a few shots coming up here in a second, it really actually reflected onto him and it made it look really good. Just this house that we were able to film at, I was really lucky to get to film there because it was an amazing location. The furniture and everything and the door really fit with the color scheme that I was going for between the two main characters in this, which in this interaction, which are Ryan and Oscar.
I'll kill you too. All of you.
So you're just gonna sit here and let him fucking die?
This man, Diego, looked me in the eye and said, a son for a son.
A problem with this scene that sort of made it a bit less natural than I wanted it to be is that with Oscar, that guy, we actually shot the kids and him on 2 different days, which made it seem a bit unnatural. The lighting was a bit different. You may not have been able to tell. Some people were. It made it a bit less natural because they didn't really have a frame of reference to look at. Couldn't really interact with each other in the scene as best as they could. I really like this shot though. The lighting really worked out well. And again, the red door really makes it, the whole scene pop. Oh yeah, this is my friend Sterling. He was amazing for this part. He had never acted before, but I knew that this character would fit him. So I asked him and he agreed to do it, and he did amazing. Like, he really was a big, like he played it perfectly. Also, I love this shot too, the lighting is really good.
Come on, let's go.
And then we get to the night scenes. This, I really like the overall feeling of it. I think it was a bit grainy, and it was a bit impractical to shoot because I had to sort of run along with them. I don't have a professional dolly, so I had to run along with them as they biking and scootering. Also, I said this in the behind the scenes, but Sterling, the kid with the scooter, he that was not written into the script. He genuinely didn't know how to ride a bike, so it was okay. He was able to ride a scooter and it turned out fine. But I even wrote a little line in there in the beginning of the scene. And then pretty soon coming up here, get to the first drone shot. And this I love. I think this this one worked out really well. And yeah, it was sort of, we didn't have a lot of time, so it was almost sort of a last minute thing, but it ended up really making the scene come to a good close. Also, my friend did the music for this. He's awesome. Go check him out. I'll put his link in the description. And he's in the credits of the actual film. And this night scene, we actually had some proper lighting, sort of. It was still very impractical because we were shooting right next to a main highway, so it was a bit dangerous, but we got some pretty good lighting on Sterling right there. Also, the fact that those lights were red in the background really fit with it. And I think this scene flows a lot smoother than the last one, and I think we executed it a lot better. And in this shot, my friend who was just there helping me with the lighting, he actually thought of the idea for this shot, and it turned out incredible. And if you hadn't thought of that, the scene would have ended in a really weird way that would have felt unnatural. And again, my friend with the music really made it really tied it all together. And I love how everything's black. Like, this was all natural. Everything was just black, and I was able to do a smooth transition to this scene. And this is the morning. Oscar's been drinking his sorrows away. And it was also nice that this house had an actual physical phone. I don't know. iPhones just they don't seem very cinematic to me. Maybe I'm just, I don't know. Just having a material phone there, it really, I don't know, it just adds something to the scene that an iPhone doesn't for some reason. I don't know why. I just feel like it worked better. And then, I really like this, how the shot sort of just stays on the phone. And then this scene right here was a bit weird because I had to cut out a few lines because the wind was just so terrible, and I don't have a boom mic. I might actually get one, but I think that the scene sort of picks up and it gets better right about at this point where car pulls in, and I really like this interaction. It really says a lot about all the characters in it. Also, something that happened while we were shooting, a security guard almost kicked us off the premises, or at least we thought he was going to. He came up to us, asked us what we were doing, but we just used the excuse that we always do, that it's for a school project, to make them like sort of be more okay with it. But it ended up turning out fine. This shot, this scene, I really loved. I think it came out really good. The fight scene combined with the reaction from the kids, I think, really came out good. That punch took a while to perfect, and it still wasn't that good, but I think it turned out okay. And then this, I really like how the glasses come off. I'm pretty sure that was accidental.
Whoa, that was cool as shit.
And then Sterling's reaction there was perfect. I love it. It really ties up the whole scene, and it really expands on his character. And I love how he acts. And Sterling is Jack in the film. It's the gray jacket.
Well, he can go fuck himself.
And then, yeah, this actually, I decided to just write in on the spot. And I really like how I did that. Also, those dumpsters. The dumpsters sort of ruined it because it's supposed to be in Mexico, but it's fine. This shot actually came out pretty good. That was not a real cigarette, and it wasn't even like a fake prop one. We made it with paper. And we just lit it, and then he had the smoke just go in his mouth, and then he sort of puffed it out. And it worked out pretty well. Now, this scene is, I feel like, the best and the worst at the same time. So the fighting and the editing and everything really came together well, but the location, how I had to film it in my garage, and it was we didn't have that much time to do it. Also the fact that we didn't have that many actors, so we sort of had to duplicate them. I don't know if you noticed the first time, but we used the same actors playing multiple different guards throughout the fight scene that's coming up. And it worked. Like, I don't know, this is my favorite and least favorite scene at the same time because it worked so well practically and everything, but it's just the actors and the sort of logistics of it that made it sort of weird. This interaction, although a bit on the nose, I think it really brings these two characters together, and I think it progresses the story well. However, it is a bit on the nose and sort of putting it in your face, like this is how the characters are feeling right now at this moment. sort of, but I think overall it was fine. That was a bit unnatural, but that's just sort of nitpicky. I like the leg break though. And yeah, this is where the multiple actors come in. I also wish I got a bit of blood there, but and then I really like this. I think this goes a long way for his character. And the reaction that he gets. And also that clank of the knife on the ground really helped sell, like, made people not think that it was plastic. And this, that actor, he actually improvised that. And it turned out really good, the table thing. And then that stab came out pretty good. This is also just my friend. He wasn't even, he's not even an adult, but it was sort of hard to tell because of the mask and everything. And this shot I like. He looks very menacing. And then this one is probably my least favorite of the entire... I honestly would have cut it, but I couldn't because it was so important for the story, because these characters needed a conclusion. How did you guys get here? And I sort of wasn't really prepared to act on that day. I was like so stressed with directing that I sort of... My acting was pretty bad. You okay? But yeah, overall I think it wasn't as bad as it could be. Also that leg break, the whole thing was pretty rushed. But like I said, it was really needed to actually work and to close the story off. Although a lot of it was sort of impractical. And then him taking off the jacket, because the jacket sort of signified his anger in a way, and him taking it off was a bit... And again, it's a bit weird, just because the scene didn't really... I don't know, it feels sort of out of place, and the lighting also is not great.
It's okay? Yeah.
And... yeah. Also, a few of my friends that were helping me on the day were right beside them while this was happening, so it was very hard for everyone not to laugh, but we pulled through it. It worked out in the end. This was the last thing we ever filmed. And it was actually, we sort of crammed it in to the last day because we just wanted to finish everything there. And although it was a bit of a rushed thing to do, I think everyone was sort of done with it at that point. And they sort of wanted to get it over with. Now, this one, I think that this final scene, it worked. It wasn't terrible, but there were a lot of things that I really wish I could have done better. But it was hard because I didn't want my grandpa to have to be there for too long. Of course, I'm not paying these people, they're just doing it voluntarily, so... I sort of had to really work within a time limit. And then the lighting here was, although it was needed to have the other lights off, it still turned out like really dark at some times, and the lighting seemed pretty unmotivated. But overall, I think it's sort of the grittiness of the entire... the lack of adequate lighting almost helped with the gritty nature of the scene, but it also works to its detriment at the same time. So it's a bit of a mixed thing there. I think, of course, if I had more time, I would have set up lights and really tried to make it very polished, but we didn't have that much time. And then this I liked, how he just sort of starts choking him at the very end. And then this shot I really hate, when he gets stabbed. It does not seem very natural. And I should have caught it while we were shooting, because... but it was just, we really didn't have time. And then there's these weird bands on the... I forget the technical term for it. Just because of how weird the lighting was, there's these weird, like, bands on the screen. Because of the lack of lighting and some other factors. But... yeah, I like this conversation. I think this end scene sort of sums everything up and closes it off pretty well. I was gonna have a scene where a bunch of cops come in and find the kids and sort of give extra closure to it. But I think that that's pretty implied with the police sirens and everything. And I think this is a good closer for it. So yeah, I've actually never done a video like this before, an analysis of my own film. I might do it of some of my old films too, and try to be very critical with those. Of course I will be. This one I made very recently, but it'll be cool to critique one of my older films because I'll have a lot more to say about it and a much more fresh view of it, and there will be a lot more to critique. So yeah, if you want to tell me if you guys want to see something like that in the future, but for now, I know you guys love it so much for some reason. The next Honey, I Shrunk the Clone is coming out in 2 weeks. The trailer will be releasing this Friday, or like a week after this video is posted, the trailer. And yeah, if you guys have any ideas for that, join the Discord server. And yeah, by the way, thank you, I just want to say this again, thank you to everyone who helped make this project possible. El Sol could not have been made. I could not have made it alone, obviously, so thank you to everyone who helped, and thank you to everyone who watched this video, and I will see you next time.